I'm Mark Pitchers, wader wearing, tea drinking, beard trimming carp freak. I've been an angler for over 30 years and I've caught carp from waters far and wide, big and small. For me, it doesn't matter where, as long as the challenge is exciting and inspiring. But now the tables have turned and it's over to you, the public, to assign my next mission on Fox's Facebook page.
It's not exactly the easiest challenge, is it?
Rivers and lakes, rigs and baits.
You fell to the cat meat.
There's been a number of incredibly tough challenges during this series. Have you been drinking de-icer again? Some of which I've knocked out the park.
Challenge completed.
Others have dealt me a devastating blow. But I'm still here and ready to pick up any gauntlet that is thrown down. This carp freak is not giving up without a fight. This is the challenge. Well, it's a day before we're going to be filming the challenge. We were actually meant to be doing this a couple of weeks ago. Back then conditions were absolutely perfect. 18 degrees in November, strong southwesterly winds, absolutely bang on. But Harry went and threw a spanner in the works. The night before, he went and broke down. Well, his van broke down. He didn't break down mentally or anything like that. And I kind of joked it was just one of Harry's tricks, so we had to reschedule, and no doubt come that time it would be snowing, freezing cold. I was right, wasn't I? Look at it. This is going to be a tough one. What's up, carp freaks? It's challenge time again. This is challenge number 9. It's been long overdue, this one. It's been ages since we were out filming the last one. That's because Harry got a girlfriend and didn't want to see me anymore. Anyway, she's let him out of the house, so I've got him for the rest of this week. How long exactly, I don't really know. Reason being, if I read you out the challenge, all will become a little bit more obvious. This challenge comes in from Tom Buckle. You have 3 darts and 1 dartboard. You'll be blindfolded and throw the darts one by one. How it works, the lowest number will refer to the number of nights, second lowest the amount of fish, and the highest out of the 3 is the minimum weight of carp. So, if I throw a 3, a 7 and a 19, that will equate to 3 nights, 7 carp, all have to be above 19 pounds. Now, you saw in my little video clip earlier, the weather this weekend has taken a serious turn for the worse. We've gone from having an Indian summer with 18-degree temperatures to having snow and ice. So I've headed south, 270 miles south to be exact, to try and escape the worst of the weather. Now I've come to the Farlows complex. The reason I've chosen this, not only to escape the bad weather, is there are 3 lakes on site. One lake's got a good stock of single-figure fish, one's got a good stock of doubles, and the big lake's got a good stock of 20-pounders. Because at the moment, I haven't thrown a dart. I don't know what size fish I need to catch, and I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I think I've got all options covered. So all that's left for me to do, I've got my darts. Let's get chucking. Throwing, aiming. What do you do with the dart? I don't know.
Well, let's go.
Let's go. Stay out the black and into the red. I'll do that later. I'll do that later.
Mark. Let's get you blindfolded.
No, I'm just gonna. No, I'm for a few practice throws first. I'll wait.
You can't.
I've not literally never thrown a dart before, so
You've played dart?
No, I really haven't. You've got to at least let me have a few practice throws. I've got a.
You got tactics?
I have got tactics, yeah. In an ideal world, I'd like to get 3 ones, 1 night, 1 fish, £1. That would be nice. But it's too close to 20, so I don't want to throw 3 20s, 20 nights, 20 fish, £20. So I want to stay away from 1 just because it's too close to 20. But 2, it's not that much better, I suppose. It's like 17 and 15. But then there's a 3 near it, So if I just aim for 2, if I get 3 2s, that's my plan. 2 nights, 2 fish, £2, job done. So that's
So you're going to get your eye in?
I'm going to get my eye in on the 2s
and then
now.
get blindfolded.
Then get blindfolded, and I'll be like that. Boom, boom, boom. Every one will just be like this. Watch. Oh, that's close. Oh. Ah. Nah, that was my first. I said I've never thrown. Right, this is the one. I won't see now. I won't even need to look.
I've never played darts before, but you brought your own dart.
Yes.
Considering I brought a dartboard, did you not think I'd bring darts as well?
I thought you'd stitch me up with some like wooden ones or plastic ones or something like that. So no, I went and bought my own actually. Phil the Power Taylor from Argos. So they must be good. 2, 2, 2. Right, get the blindfold. Show some home.
Yeah.
Smells funny. Making my eyes sting. This is such a cheap gag. You didn't bring one of them with you as well, did you?
Right. Ready?
I think so. You're going to stand next to the board and talk, and I'll throw it in the direction of your voice. You ready?
Right, no.
Nice.
You lost your rhythm.
Yeah. Have another practice throw.
No. Come on. Put your blindfold on. Right. Have you got it locked in now? You visualised it.
Yeah. I got it. I'm not even going to close my eyes. I'm just going
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, are you happy with those?
Yeah, they sounded awesome. They sounded like 2s.
They sounded like...
They sounded like 2. They made the same noise there as when I was doing my practice throws before.
I can't take your blindfold off.
That's not bad, is it, really? 2 nights, 2 fish, £15.
No, hang on. One of those...
Oh, come on.
One of those is in a treble.
That's just being pedantic. Come on, it's. You're not going to do that on me, are you?
Yeah, of course trebles count.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Thank your lucky stars you didn't hit a treble 15.
It was nearly a double, wasn't it? No, I'm quite happy with that, actually.
So 2 nights, 6 fish.
Yeah.
For £15. All of them have to
Oh, that's be £15.
over £15.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It could have been a lot worse. I'm just quite impressed that I actually managed to stay all around there. See all that practice? Worth it. No. It's doable. Hard, but doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get thinking cap on.
Well, now I know the numbers, I have decided on Lake 2. I need to catch 6 fish over £15 in 2 nights, and Lake 2 definitely gives me the best chance of being able to do that. Although having walked round today and having spoke to a few anglers, nothing has been caught today. It is going to be tricky. You know, there's a sudden drop in temperature. It's certainly not going to be easy. I have seen one fish show though, and that was on the back of the wind. But until I see something else show, I don't just want to set up in a peg and it not be the right choice. So for now, I'm quite happy just walking around. Hopefully we'll see a few more signs of fish showing so I can make a proper decision on what area I want to be in. If not, if it's getting too late in the night, in the evening, then I've always got that one fish I saw as like a backup plan, if you like, a backup area. So for now, I'm going to have a few more laps and we'll see what we can see.
You're going to be setting up in the dark?
I'm going to be setting up in the dark, yeah.
Are you air drying your maggots?
Guess who forgot his riddle? I think they actually do a better job than a riddle.
Yeah, so what are you trying to achieve?
I put loads of ground bait and maize meal on the maggots just to stop them sweating. But when I'm spotting out the maggots, I don't really want anything else to detract from them. So I don't want a cloud of ground bait falling through the water or a bed of ground bait on the lake bed. I just want the maggots alone. So now I'm just riddling off all the excess powder, or air drying off. So I've brought along several gallon of maggot for this session. As we move into winter, maggots do feature more and more in my angling. I don't know what it is about them. Don't know if it's because they are so visual, especially the white ones. You look at them on the lake bed, they stand out a mile. But also there's literally not a fish swimming that can turn its nose up at a maggot. It's actually really good, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I've just barrowed my kit into that peg where we saw that fish show earlier, and I had kind of anticipated staying sort of vigilant right into the darkness, hoping to see another fish or two show. No sooner had I dropped the barrow in the peg and one showed on exactly the same spot as where we saw that one earlier. So as far as I'm concerned, that's my mind made up. This is the area I want to be in. I've not seen anything else show anywhere on the lake. So let's get the kit unloaded and I'll have a little lead around and see what's out there. Tap. A lot of people always seem to be in a massive rush to get the rods and all the feature finding done before it gets dark, but there really is no need. End of the day, you're still feeling that lead down and dragging it back exactly the same as you would during the daylight, and if anything, I think the senses are perhaps heightened because you can't see as much as what's going on. I think you seem to concentrate a bit more and you feel every tap of gravel. And as long as you're aiming for you pick your far bank markers, all you do, cast around, feel a potential area, wrap the line in the clip on the reel, and it's just a case of taking the lead off, putting on a spod, and you can apply the bait to that same area, wrap the line around the distance sticks, and do exactly the same with your fishing rods. And you know you're fishing on exactly that same mark. Doesn't matter if it's daylight or the middle of the night, doesn't matter, you know you're fishing on that exact same mark. All you got to do is line it up with that same marker, and I'm waffling. Well, the rods have been in the water a couple of hours now. I'm actually fishing 3 rods on 3 different spots. I've probably seen, I don't know, half a dozen fish in total, and they have kind of been on 3 areas. And the areas where I saw the fish show, I cast a bare lead to them, and the lead landed down nice and firm, and all around it was actually quite sort of choddy. So the areas where I'd seen fish did seem to be clear areas in amongst all the chod and the weed. So it did look sort of quite likely feeding spots. So yeah, 3 rods, 3 different areas where I've seen fish. So I'm happy that I feel I'm in the right area. I haven't seen anything else show elsewhere on the lake. So really it's kind of out of my hands now. It's a little bit of a waiting game. We'll just have to see what the night brings. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Bovril.
You're not having tea?
Nope. No, I'm not having tea. I'm going through an experimental phase at the moment. And it's cold. That was nice, doesn't it? Look at that. I'm going through a bit of an experimental phase, and I thought, what? I don't know, I just think tea's a little bit predictable now. I like to think outside the box. It's just such a manly beverage, isn't it? On a cold winter's night. You can still dip your biscuits in it.
You're going to dip your biscuits in it?
Yep. Ginger nuts and Bovril. Harry, you're too scared to experiment. We've gone through this before. And it still gives you that same satisfaction of a tea. If anything, it gives you a deeper brew grunt. Yeah, that was satisfying. You can tell. You could tell. Don't get that with a cup of tea.
I had a bream. This is literally the most depressed I think I've ever seen you. I needed to catch last night really to have any chance of passing, I think. I can't see me coming back really from this.
So you're just going to throw the towel in?
Yeah, let's go on.
That's the spirit, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm feeling a bit dejected this morning, to be honest. Nothing happened through the night other than a bream to add insult to injury. But I did get quite a few liners. So the fish are still here. I do believe I'm in the right location. I've not seen anything else show anywhere else on the lake. And I'm kind of clinging on to the hope that they're going to be feeding during daylight hours. I am surprised I didn't catch, to be honest. But I just spoke to a bailiff a short while ago, and he told me in the past 4 days now there's only been 2 fish caught. So to catch 6 fish all over 15 pounds in the next 36 hours is looking like quite a tall ask. I don't know. I think I'm going to finish my cup of tea, have a sausage sandwich, and then have a bit of a rethink. When are you going to eat nuts? You don't need to film that. You have to blind me while I'm eating nuts. Put it down now, I'm blind. You.
You know, the thing is, you just keep on looking into it.
Oh, look, I can't help it. That's like a moth, isn't it? Please don't talk about carpiness. It has to be quirky things though. Not like the con bunny, like more like rods in the water. Or I liked a photo of a grayling on Instagram. That's quite carpy. So, and everyone knows grayling are the new perch. So, yeah.
So what's a perch?
Perch? Well, last year perch were the new carp, and this year grayling are the new perch. But I think the grayling could easily be toppled by dace, which could be the new grayling. It gets confusing, but it isn't.
So a perch gone?
Oh, perch is so last year.
Yeah.
So last year.
So it's all about the grayling.
Grayling.
Are you gonna catch a grayling this year?
Yeah.
Where are you going to target your grayling?
Oh, some chalk stream somewhere. Oh yeah, it has to be a chalk stream, and I'll trot a brandling worm under a I don't know, 70s style bobber float or something.
Have you got one?
No. I'm just getting a few crafty photos of the sling and the margins.
So there's nothing in there?
No, nothing in there. It's I'm just getting a few nice shots for Instagram. Everyone's at it these days, you must have seen it. Picture of a retainer in the margins on the morning with the caption, one sulking in the cells. Everyone's at it.
And they haven't actually caught anything?
I doubt it.
It's so cynical, Mark.
But it just looks so good, doesn't it? It's a win-win. Yep. That'll do. Well, I'm having a slight change of plan on one rod at least. Last night, as it was getting dark, I saw a couple of fish show down to the margin to my left, and there is a bush that kind of comes out a fair way from the bank. But I cast around with a light lead, and I found there to be a little bit of a depression in the silt. It is silty, but it is quite clean as well, and not come out with any leaves or anything like that. So yeah, great place to put a rod. I've got the exact same rigs I was using the night before, and I've just got a little mesh bag of maggots on about the size of a golf ball. So it's all clipped up, let's get it in. making another slight change here. I've had a few liners on this left-hand rod during the night, but nothing's happened. So I kind of figured that at least the last rod length leading up to the rig is going to be on the lake bed, fishing with a semi-slack line, not slack, semi-slack, with a lightweight bobbin. So yeah, that last sort of rod length should be all pinned down out the way. So the fish that are coming in contact with the line are at least a rod length this side. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to reclip it about 1.5 wraps short of where I baited last night. I'm just going to cast there with just another golf ball sized bag of maggots. Well, the rod that I just flicked down that margin had been in the water 10 minutes. I haven't seen how big it is yet. Got cameras in the way, hurry! Gone quiet, haven't I? Yeah. I know it's not even £15. I just want to see it go in the net, really. Right, here we go. Come back. There. Look at that. That's just awkward. Yay! We're off the mark. So it's an absolute minter as well, that. He's an absolute stunner. It's bigger than I thought it was. Yeah, it's gonna be close. I'm not bothered. We're off the mark. It's a stunning looking fish. Rod's only been in the water down there 10 minutes. I feel better, a bit better. £14. Oh well, it was close actually. No, I can't be disappointed. I really can't. I mean, look at it. Well, he may not be £15, but he's not far off. £14 exactly. It's been fishing really tough as well, so I think just to get off the mark and with such a stunning looking fish, I'm not disappointed. But I do think there's a chance of another bite or two yet. Perhaps they are feeding during the day, like I maybe had an inkling they would be. So I'm going to slip this fella back, get a rod straight back on that productive spot, and hopefully we'll get another chance. Or 6.
He's awesome though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's wicked. Well, that rod has only been in the water probably 20 minutes following that recast, and within a couple of minutes I was getting liners, and then the rod just slammed round, and here we are playing fish number 2, and this one is bigger than the first one. So yeah, that's if it's almost 14, then this one's definitely it's definitely 15 plus. Yeah, he's bigger. He's definitely bigger. Right.
Clicking on gas now.
Yeah, we're rocking now. Tell you what, it's another absolute stunner as well. I reckon I'd have caught down there last night. I reckon there's a decent enough depth that I don't think there's that much difference from there to there. I reckon there probably would have been there last night. So I reckon I've made a balls up by not fishing that spot last night. Well, we are now officially off the mark. 16 pound 9 ounces. Another absolute stunner. I mean, look at that, proper apple slice scales, beautiful fish. And from this morning where I felt down and dejected, I had them 2 bites really quickly after making the move down that margin, and I now feel very, very positive. This challenge is still by no means in the bag. This feeding spell, I mean, you know, we are approaching December. This feeding spell could stop as quickly as it started. But no, it's looking good, and I'm going to get this fella back and get that rod straight back out on that spot, and hopefully we can nick another bite pretty quickly. It is so satisfying. Well, it's been a couple of hours since that last fish, so I just thought I'd have a recast back down that margin with a fresh PVA bag of maggots. So I just thought I'd show you how I go about attaching the bag to the rig. I've got a golf ball size mesh bag of maggots there. And when I've tied it up off at the top, I've kept quite a long tag end there. So all I do, I nick the hook point through the top of the tag and then wrap it round the shank a couple of times and then put the hook point back through the tag like that, and that traps the silicone in place and it prevents it from sliding up the shank either on the cast or on the impact of the bag hitting the water. Well, I'm making another slight change here. The open water rods have done virtually nothing today. I've not had a bite since that last fish. That's quite obvious, isn't it, really? But I've just had a little walk up the margin here, and I've noticed a little bit of fizzing going on, probably 2 rod lengths from where I've had them 2 bites today. So it looks like the fish have just pushed out ever so slightly. I've not seen anything else in the open water, and I've had no indications at all on them other rods. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to have a recast a couple of rod lengths farther out. I've also altered the rig ever so slightly. Yesterday I had a little bit of a lead around down there, and it was coming back quite choddy. There was a few bits of weed and leaves, and it was also quite silty. So before I was fishing with a little piece of artificial corn just to kind of balance out the maggots and also add a little bit of visual aid. But obviously that sat flat on the lake bed. Now I've substituted that corn for a little piece of cork. Now that will pop up the maggots off the lake bed, only ever so slightly. Probably just by, you can see the hook bite there, probably just going to pop up by an inch. But it means that the hook is proud and clear of any sort of debris that may catch it and hinder the hooking potential of the rig. So you've got a small ball of maggots there, a PVA bag of maggots. And I'm just going to cast this now to where them fish were feeding, and hopefully we can kick-start the swim and get another bite. Well, I briefly touched upon the rigs that I've been using, but I thought I'd just cover them in a lot more detail. The main line I'm using is the 18-pound Exocet. It may seem quite heavy, but it's actually got a very fine diameter, and it's also probably the most invisible mono I've ever used. And for that reason, I'm fishing it naked, which means I'm fishing it straight through to the rig with no tubing or leaders behind the rig itself. A lot of people seem to worry about getting tangles when not using any sort of anti-tangle tubing or leaders. But what I've got here is a naked line tail rubber. It's longer and also more tapered than a standard tail rubber, and that helps to eliminate tangles. That's because it's finer where the line enters the tail rubber and there isn't as much of a lip for the hook link to sort of catch round. Coming down from that, we have a slick lead clip, and then we have a 4-ounce lead. I do like to use a heavy lead. I do believe it helps greatly with the hook hold. Also, it cuts straight through any side winds which you can get at this time of year during the winter months, and also helps me feel that lead down, so I can tell what sort of lake bed I'm fishing over. Coming down from there, we have one of the tungsten anti-tangle sleeves, and coming down to the hook link, we have 25-pound Camotex semi-stiff. I've also tied quite a long loop in the end of the hook link here, which kind of acts as a long anti-tangle sleeve because it's doubled over, it's double the thickness, double the stiffness, and you can see there basically it's created an even longer anti-tangle sleeve, so again help eliminate tangles. And coming down from that, we have a size 5 SS BP hook, short shank beat point hook, and I've got a small section of silicone there down on the shank to create a bit of a blowback rig and also trap the hair in place. Then I have a piece of artificial sweet corn, and that serves two purposes. It helps to create a separation between the maggots and the hook point, so it reduces the risk of the maggots crawling around and catching over the hook point, which will obviously make the rig ineffective as it wouldn't catch a hold in the carp's mouth. And it also acts as a nice visual aid. And all I've got there, that's just the maggots are then just simply tied on to the loop in the hair rig. A lot of people mess around tying on little rig rings and things like that, but there really is no need. It's just overcomplicating things. What no need to do is just tie it onto the loop on the hair. Now the corn itself, I have that soaking in a pot of the Northern Special Booster liquid. I find it's quite a sort of a sticky liquid, and it seems to almost penetrate the corn, and when you wind in after 24 hours you can still smell the liquid quite strongly. And what else I've got soaking in the same liquid is I have a pot of cork, and that kind of leads me on to the rig change that I've just made. Now this is the one I've just cast out, well, not the one, and for all intents and purposes it's tied in very much the same way as the corn rig. The difference being, instead of the corn, I have a section of cork, a cut down piece of the cork sticks, and obviously that pops up the maggots off the lake bed. Now to anchor them down, I've got one of the tungsten hook link sinkers with a little bit of putty on there just to counterbalance the weight of the cork. Now a few of the areas I'm fishing on, there's a little bit of light debris, and I was just a bit worried that the hook point could be masked by leaves or a bit of light weed. So the hook is now sat above the lake bed, proud of any debris, so the hook point isn't masked in any way and it's clear to catch a hold. It's about 4:15 now. This is the last dregs of daylight. For the majority of today I've only been fishing with 2 rods. I've not really seen enough to warrant fishing with a 3rd rod, to be honest. I don't want to fish it just for the sake of it and risk spreading bait, spreading PVA bags of maggots around the swim and kind of detracting from the ones around my hook bait. But in the past 5 or 10 minutes we have seen a couple of fish show, and one of them was actually on a spot that I baited last night. So I've recast the rig with a mesh PVA bag of maggots that's landed bang on that spot, And if nothing happens in the next hour, then I may top up with a couple more sponsor maggots just to freshen the swim up. Hopefully kickstart a bit of a feeding response on that area. But seeing them showing fish has proven that these fish haven't gone anywhere. They've been here all along, all today. And it kind of really does emphasise what I mentioned earlier about once we move into the colder weather, the feeding spells may only be short, and that window of opportunity may only be open for a very, very brief time. So you really do have to make the most of them small opportunities. But although we have had them 2 fish, I'm still 5 fish away from a pass. And it is starting to look like a monumental ask, if I'm honest. I guess if we do catch another couple of fish tonight that are over £15, then it is doable. But the reality is it needs to happen sooner rather than later if that's going to be a possibility.
What's for dinner then?
Chicken a la dart.
What happened with the darts last night?
I fell asleep with them in my pocket. Woke up with a scrotum like a pincushion. It's hard work though, isn't it?
I don't think the squeezy one's the one.
No. It's aggravating me if I'm honest.
It's a lot more awkward than putting a... Use the back of the spoon.
Well, I did think that, but and then I thought, no, that's ridiculous. No wonder it's not coming out. Look, it's like glue.
You probably
I can
screwed that up.
Yeah. I can see me falling out with this before long.
You said last night it was the best thing ever.
Yeah, but
You are properly making a mess of this.
Well, I was just trying to make myself a cup of Bovril. Yeah? Right, okay, we'll put it on the rest. Well, it's absolute carnage all of a sudden. While I'm playing this one of the open water rods is rattling off. Oh, that's better. Right. Ooh. Right. That was a bit of a battle. Right, he's there, it's a nice deep margin. And this other rod, hopefully the fish is still on here. Proper carnage, isn't it? I saw a fish roll over an area that I baited last night. So I just cast out a mesh bag of maggots. It didn't produce within the hour, so I decided to top it up with half a dozen fresh spods of maggot. It's nice to get a take off a different spot, because so far I've had 3 bites off this margin spot, and I was kind of getting a little bit worried that it was a little bit of a one-trick pony, if you like. It was just that one area that was producing. Here he comes. Oh, yes. That was a bit hectic. I really needed that. 2 bites at once, 4 fish. I haven't seen how big they are yet, but I needed that. I needed that so badly. Oh, right. Well, 3rd fish, and it's the biggest one so far, £18 exactly. Really happy. Bit of a hectic hectic few moments there, 2 takes at once. Which reminds me, we've got another fish in the net. I haven't had a proper look at him, but I think it's about a similar size to this one. So yeah, buzzing right now. 17.6 I think it was. Well, getting them 2 bites simultaneously kind of reinforces what I was saying earlier about how the feeding periods may only be quite short-lived and only short windows of opportunity. Waited quite a while for them 2 bites, so let's just hope that the next opportunity isn't so far away. Bingo. Yes. Well, it's only been probably half an hour since that sort of double take, and we're in again. Stretch. Hey, number 5. I think that is close to 15. This one I'm not. This one's a bit touch and go. Oh, that's erotic. Look at that. Look at it, it's beautiful. Here we are, fish number 5, just over £15. £15 1 ounce, which was witnessed and verified by Harry. No cheating going on here. But you know what, I really wouldn't have cared if it was under £15 because this is probably the nicest looking carp I've ever caught. It's just sublime, isn't it? It's near perfection. It's a shame really we caught it at night because I don't think these pictures will really do this fish justice. It's something else. But as lovely as he is, I'm going to slip him back and get another rod in the water because I've had 2 bites in quick succession and I think there is chance of another take yet. I think that's over £15. £19 exactly. So that is the 6th one of the session. And only one of them has been under £15. I can honestly say that I never thought during this challenge I would see myself in the position where all I needed was one more bite to pass, providing that bite, of course, was over £15. And there's no guarantee that if I did get another bite, it would be. But
Are you away?
yeah.
Oh, you are well and
Right.
truly away.
Well, we were just about to tell you about this fish. Oh. Right,
entertainer in the margin. I can't see. Oh, this one. Ooh. Here I am playing the 7th fish of the session, knowing that if it's over £15, I've passed. But what I was going to say, whilst I had that £19 common in my hand and before this rod ripped off, was I honestly never thought that I would see myself at this stage where all I needed was potentially one more bite to pass the challenge. But here we are. I'm playing what feels a reasonable fish, knowing that if I land it, it's job done, challenge passed. Providing it's over £15. And you know what? I don't think it is. It's not 15. Come on, fella. Yes. That wasn't as big a celebration as if it had been a little bit bigger.
I think that's close.
Do you?
I think that's really close.
Looking at it, I think that's about 14s.
That is, it's close. I'm telling you that's close.
I suppose I haven't had a 19 in my hand, so...
Yeah.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I need like a little jingle that goes after that.
Yeah.
Like a game show jingle.
Yeah, like the game.
Catchphrases.
Yeah.
One way to find out.
Only what? What accent would it be in?
Your accent.
Would it? There's only one way to find out. Like that. Well, that's the 19 pounder going back. I've got my weight sling back now, so now it's the moment of truth. Let's see what this other one weighs. I think this is close. I really do. I say it's close. It's not close at all.
No?
It is 17 pounds, 9 ounces. Oh. I just wasn't expecting that, you know. Maybe it's my, I think my judgment had been clouded a bit by that 19 pounder I had hold of just a few moments earlier. But what a lovely fish to pass with. Another absolutely stunning Farlow's mirror. I just never ever expected to be in this position. Less than 24 hours ago I was blanking, and when I woke up and the bobbins had barely moved, I'm not gonna lie, I was really despondent, and I think Harry was as well, if he wants to admit it.
I thought you were going to blank.
Yeah, we both thought that was going to be the case, and we were both kind of thinking worst case scenario, you know, we could spend 2 nights on here for nothing. And I think I said to Harry, I don't even care about passing, I just don't want to blank. But obviously once I had a couple of fish, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to pass. And I have. And yeah, I say it,
I'm just blown away because it was just so unexpected. Conditions leading up to this session were just diabolical. The fish kind of shut up shop really over the weekend, and clearly that first night I was here, they obviously had little inclination to feed. Temperatures warmed up by quite a few degrees, and it just seems as though it's just flicked that switch and got them back in the feeding mood. And tonight I've had 6 bites, 1 hook pull, 5 fish landed. So there you go. All that's left for me to say, Tom Buckle, thank you for your challenge. Challenge complete.
If you'd like to watch more of my challenge videos, then click the link here. Or if you'd like to subscribe to Fox Fishing TV, then click the link here.
That was good.